Straighten her out, would you, son? Thank you.
Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we uncover the shocking truth about the Hollywood star Walter Brennan. Despite his lovable grandfather on-screen persona, Brennan's private life was marked by controversy and scandals. He held controversial views on and committed heinous acts that will make you question everything you thought you knew about him. Stay tuned to learn more about the man behind the lovable characters he portrayed on screen. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest videos. Walter Brennan was born in Lynn, Massachusetts on the 25th of July, 1894. His father, William John Brennan, was an engineer, while his mother, Margaret Elizabeth Flanagan, was a housewife. Brennan developed an interest in acting and started performing in vaudeville productions at the young age of 15 while at Rindge Technical School in Cambridge. He served 2 years in the Army and was assigned to the 101 Field Artillery Regiment in France in the First World War, where he injured his vocal cords due to exposure to mustard gas that left him with his unique high-pitched voice. After the war, Brennan worked as a reporter for a Boston newspaper and planned to relocate to Guatemala to grow pineapples, but he ended up in Los Angeles. After losing all of his money in the 1925 real estate slump, he began working as an extra in Universal Studios films and eventually landed more substantial roles. Walter Brennan rose to stardom in the late 1930s and early 1940s. He won 3 Academy Awards for Best Supporting Actor for his remarkable acting performances in the films Kentucky, The Westerner, and Come and Get It in 1936, 1938, and 1940, respectively. Brennan accomplished a remarkable success, but his career later declined. His remarkable contributions to some of the best Hollywood movies from the Golden Age were overshadowed by his overexposure and typecasting as a grumpy and loving grandfather figure. But this wasn't the only factor that contributed to Brennan's decline into insignificance. It was challenging for him to restore popularity because of his reputation as an open racist and vocal opponent of civil rights. He was so unpopular because he thought that everybody who disagreed with him was a communist who hated God and country. Brennan's violent opinions drove away many of his followers in his final years, and some even regarded him as the most dangerous actor to have ever lived. The allegations against Walter about being racist could not have been any less true. According to reports, he was known to be really conservative about his views and was not a big fan of civil rights or the anti-war movements in the 1960s. He believed that the movements were being controlled by communist forces from overseas and that activists in the United States were unintentionally helping them with their cause. While at several interviews, Brennan was repeatedly heard expressing these conspiratorial views in details and even suggested that the riots in Newark and Watts and the protests in Birmingham resulted from African Americans who were incited and enraged by outside influences with anti-American agendas. He also said there was use of force like guns, which was suggested to be a good way of controlling the protests. Despite the criticism he received at the time from these views, they were not entirely wrong, since many members of the political rights were suspicious of the movements since they believed they were part of a bigger communist conspiracy. Moreover, there were allegations by Brennan's casting crew of the Guns of Will Sonnet that he celebrated following Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassination and the death of Robert F. Kennedy, which raised many eyebrows and was found very disturbing. It is never good to celebrate someone's murder, regardless of their political views or personal feelings. Such behavior shows lack of empathy and compassion, just like Brennan did. Walter Brennan was also known to use his image to spread controversy and hate. According to some reports, Walter used his folksy and rural image to integrate his audiences into his racist and anti-civil rights views, and was said to be a member of the John Birch Society, an anti-communist organization that was known for promoting racist and bigoted beliefs. Despite his New England roots and lack of experience living on an actual farm, he projected a country boy image that made him popular among rural audiences. He exploited his platform to promote his far-right ideologies by playing as cantankerous characters that fans liked. Brennan's extremist views and hate speech greatly contrasted the image he portrayed on television. In the series The Real McCoys, he played the role of Grandpa Amos McCoy, a lovable, wise old man who gave out wisdom to his family and people all around, but behind the scenes, Brennan was a totally different person who used the popularity he gained to promote his radical ideologies and spread racism and anti-communist views. But despite all these, Brennan maintained a successful acting career, while mostly due to his popularity in the rural areas. Brennan was very paranoid in conspiracy theories, since he believed that many prominent people in Hollywood and politics were on a mission to undermine values and spread communism secretly. In addition to his suspicions about John Wayne, Brennan also believed that President Franklin D. Roosevelt supported communism and President Harry Truman, on the other hand, was a puppet of the Soviet Union. Brennan's paranoia did not only revolve around politics and Hollywood. He had another analogy that the FBI had tapped his phone and Soviet spies were following him around. He even started carrying a gun around always, since he feared for his safety and even forbade his daughter from allowing his grandchildren to listen to the Beatles due to fear of being influenced by their music. Brennan was also known for questioning his co-workers about their voting history and political beliefs, where if anyone admitted to voting to a candidate that he viewed as radical or associated with Kennedy family, he would rant about America's impending doom and the dangers of communism. He had such strong beliefs that even supporting Kennedy's political views was unacceptable, and even associated him with Marx and Lenin. These extreme views and behaviors showed how paranoid Brennan was and his hatred for anything which he felt was a threat to his idea of the ideal America. While not nearly as controversial as his racist beliefs, prayers being removed from public schools was perceived by Brennan as yet another sign of the country's nearing downfall. This was due to the Project Prayer Rally in 1964, which was a response of the Supreme Court's decision of the Angel Vital case that declared practicing prayers in school was unconstitutional. This was based on the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment that prohibited the government from establishing an official religion or favoring one religion. Many Christians saw this as an interference with their religious freedom, and hence the Project Prayer Rally was among the many events aimed at challenging the court's decision and restore prayer in schools. But their efforts were futile since the ban is still upheld in the name of separating the church and the state. Beyond his on-screen reputation as a lovable grandfather, Brennan's off-screen person who was wise, compassionate, and full of heart, attracting himself to audiences of all ages. He had a knack for delivering humorous one-liners and witty comebacks, which added to his charm and likability. Walter Brennan's career was really impressive, and his contributions to the film industry was one of a kind. Regardless of all of his racist acts and spreading hate, he had a good run in his acting career with features in a wide range of films, dramas, westerns, comedies, and musicals that made his ability to fit into a wide range of characters with ease known. These earned him several nominations as Best Supporting Character, Academy Award wins, and a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1960. He remains a loved figure in the film industry, with his performances being celebrated to date. And that brings us to the end of our video today, and it's safe to say Walter's legacy remains to be a complicated one. Regardless of being a talented actor with a great career, his views on race and religion were with no doubt problematic, and it's up to us to choose whether his contributions to the film industry make up for his controversial beliefs. Leave a comment and let us know whether you think he should be celebrated for his legacy or condemned for his beliefs. Thanks for watching. Until next time, when we bring you more interesting facts and stories and the Hollywood stars you didn't know.